Hi everyone, these are the important questions. Do I need to go for chemotherapy? How many sessions of chemotherapy do I need? What about immunotherapy? What about surgery? What about CT scans? Well, join us on our Simply Healed program every Thursday nights at 7:30 p.m. Singapore, Hong Kong and Philippine time. Our sessions are interactive, featuring a live Q&A with experts and doctors who will answer your questions in real time. You can type in your questions and get immediate, personalized responses. This is your chance to take control of your health. So take advantage of this informative and supportive experience. Visit our Facebook page and message us on Messenger to find out more. See you there this Thursday.
One reason why I recommended initially PPARS is because it can induce lung cancer cell death. No? The main reason why I tried PPARS liquid, and it did well for the patient. No? It helped with the tumors. The enlarged abdominopelvic lymph nodes were not detected. This was gone. So that was something that I was actually quite surprised. A 12-centimeter tumor disappearing.
Everybody turn to your neighbor and say, do more. Right? Don't just think there is no one product that will cure you of cancer. Okay, that is like it's like a scammer trying to sell you something. All right, it is a comprehensive approach. When you need surgery, do the surgery. But prepare for the surgery so that you recover well, right? And then if you need to do chemotherapy, radiation therapy, do it. So this is where PPARS really comes in. It's a gene activator, so it's a signaling pathway. It switches on your pathways, your systems. Then the other nourishment that you take will be properly used. Is it easy to understand now?
Now let's not keep you waiting. We are now officially opening the AMA or Ask Me Anything portion.
So she has to take maybe just the capsule or the powder just to regulate blood sugar. And then undergo the surgery, and after the surgery, to aid in wound healing also and for recovery, she can continue the capsule.
I can safely say this, all LJ products are great, but if you have acute illnesses like cancer, then we are a world of a difference. Because if you want chlorella, take chlorella. If you want spirulina, take spirulina. When you take Simply Nature PPARS, you're taking our microalgae for its PPAR agonist.
We are always with you from start to finish.
Yung sister ko had the symptoms of diabetes. Siguro 10 years na. Madalas siyang umiihi, tapos laging pagod, pumayat, mataas ang BP. Tapos siyempre, mga non-healing wound.
Yung sa paa po ni ma'am, paano po yun nag-start?
Okay. Kasi ganito yun eh. Yung first na hospital niya, not because of diabetes. Ang una niya, pneumonia. Ayan. Doon nalaman na may diabetes din siya, by accident. Right foot niya, may para siyang matang isda lang. Maliit na itim lang. Tapos napapaligiran lang siya ng parang dilaw na kulay na dilaw. Ring sa sugat na yun sa center. Tapos tinanong ko, bakit? Hindi niya daw alam anong reason. So sigurado ko dahil nga may background ako sa medical, siguro dahil yun ay lumala na yung taas ng sugar niya, hindi niya na monitor, hindi niya nabibigyan ng gamot, nagkaroon siguro siya ng komplikasyon. Yung nerve sa paa na damage na. So, hindi niya na nararamdaman na may natapakan pala siya. So, probably, yun siguro yung nangyari. May natapakan siya, nasugat yung paa niya, maliit lang, tapos hindi niya naramdaman. Lumala. So, nagkaroon siya ng lagnat on and off, nakahiga lang siya. So, sabi ko sa kanya, so, anong plano mo? Sabi ko, pa-check na natin yan. So, pina-check namin as OPD. Chinek, binigyan, niresetahan ng gamot, tapos tiningnan yung sugat, binusbos. Pero kapiranggot lang ang tiningnan. Tapos, in-advise na lang kami, linis, at 7 days na gamutan ng antibiotic. After na 7 days, lumala lalo. Yung pinaka-pamamaga niya, lumaki lalo. So, sabi ko, ay, na-infect na to. Nilala ko sa emergency room. Ayun, doon nalaman lahat. Mababa pala hemoglobin, mataas masyado yung sugar, yung diabetes niya, talagang marami ng komplikasyon.
Ano po yung plans ng doktor niya?
Na-refer siya sa ortho. Ang plano sa kanya ay putulin. VKA or the below the knee amputation. Hesitant din kami pumirma ng consent. Then later on, ni-refer naman siya sa plastic surgeon. Nagsabi naman sa amin na maganda pa circulation. Might as well na tulungan na lang natin yung paa, linisin, wound dressing for twice a day, then debridement as needed, religiously. So, yun ginawa namin. Twice a day kami naglilinis, tulungan kami ng husband niya, hanggang ang nangyari, gumanda, pero andun pa rin yung plan na putulin. Hanggang makita na gumaganda na, ayun, hindi na naulit yung plan nila na maputol yung paa.
Kasabay po ba nun may mga tinitake pa siyang gamot?
Bukod doon sa antibiotics, bukod sa mga gamot na binigay ng doktor sa ospital, may tinake din siya na alternative medicine, yung PPARS. May kamahalan. So, sinugal ko para, kasi kailangan kung di mo isusugal yun, baka maputulan talaga. Kasi kahit naglilinis kami ng paa, tapos nagdidibri, pero parang slow yung healing process niya. So, I tried na painumin siya at 10 tablets at AM and 10 at lunch and then 10 at the evening. And the soft gel, twice a day also. So, religiously binibigay ko yun sa kanya. Ang dati kasi dahil nag-peak yung WBC niya, medyo nag-septic siya. Sa mga nakakaalam, sabihin yung infection kumalat na sa buong katawan. Kaya nagkaroon ng problema yung kaisipan na nawala sa wisyo. Dramatically, yun yung maganda doon. Dramatically, after 1 to 2 days, parang nakita ko siya ng improvement. Doon, nakita namin na sa help ng antibiotic and together with PPARS, sabi ko, maganda yung kinalabasan. So, why not continue? Hanggang nakita ko rin na gumaganda yung healing process. Tapos yung WBC, nag-dramatically from 46. Imagine, 46, dramatically bumaba siya ng 39, 33, 27, 19, 15, and then 11, 9, 7. So, nakikita mo talaga yung changes na nagawa ng gamot na yun. So, yung support ng family ay mahalaga sa recover ng pasyente. So, una, yun yung talaga nakikita ko, yung support system. Then secondly, syempre, with the help of the advanced technology, like yung mga ini-introduce ng mga gamot, hindi ko pwedeng alisin yun sa scene, sa scenario. So, ako kasi, dahil nga nasa medical field ako, medyo alam ko yung mga ganyang mga alternative medicine and evidence-based ako. So, sa PPARS, sabi ko nga, maganda yung result. Ito walang harong biro to. It's not joke. Yung man ako binayaran So, it's no joke. Talagang maganda yung yung nangyari sa kapatid ko, lalo na yung wound healing. Yun yung nakikita ko, yung wound healing talaga. Nag-granulate siya, gumanda yung circulation, nabuo ng laman, nagkalaman yung mga paa niya na dating wala. Makikita niyo naman sa picture, di ba? dating wala, nagkaroon ng laman. So, na-prevent natin yung pagputol. I can say na effective. Okay, effective yung PPARS.
Ano yung ma-advise nyo sa mga patients na same case sa sister ninyo?
Okay. So, I advise them to try. Then, kagaya ko, gusto ko may ebidensya na experience ng on hand ng ate ko. So, ganun din yung papayo ko. Try to experience yung healing, try to take the medicine religiously ha. Despite medyo may konting kamahalan, but then kung titignan mo naman yung long term na gamutan, mas mahal yun. Tsaka hospitalization. At yung syempre, yung recovery. Yun yung maganda doon eh. Yung recovery, mapabilis. So, try ninyo. Hello, I'm Joel Elcano. My sister, diabetic since way back 10 years up to now. Because of Simply Nature, hindi niya na kailangan mag-amputate. Yung recovery niya, yung unti-unti nagkaroon ng maganda, nagkalaman yung kanyang mga paa. Still recovering, yet nakikita ko yung magandang bunga. And that is because of Simply Nature, PPARS. And I trust Simply Nature.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ako si Haji Norma Yusuf, taga Zamboanga City. Pero dito na ako nakatira sa Maynila. 13 pieces na bukol, pero yung mga iba maliit siya. Pero yung itong isa, malaki siya, parang umabot na ata ng 3. Kaya nga ito sabi ng doktor, kailangan tanggalin na. May kaibigan ako, i-try ko daw itong yung PPARS. Pangalawang gabi, may naramdaman ako parang iba. Yung parang may langgam na parang gumagalaw ganyan hanggang dito, hanggang sa talampakan, ganon. Pangatlong araw ko. Parang kung sumakit yung dito ko, parang gusto ko talaga. Pag ko ganyan sa CR, yun parang lumabas talaga na ganyan, napakarami talaga. Siguro sunod-sunod yun, 3 araw, ganun. Tapos sabi ko, pagtapos yung dito ko, minsan yung parang, ganun-ganun ako. Parang masikip dito, parang minsan sumasakit dito ko, ganyan. Yung na ako dito, umabot na ng mga 5 days, ganyan. Parang nawala yung sakit dito, nawala siya. Parang hindi na ako ganun-ganon. Pag nagsalita ako, parang tuloy-tuloy na, wala na akong halos maramdaman. Kaya siguro, hindi ako, sabi ko, parang ayaw ko magpa-opera. Siguro, mayroon talagang gamot para dito. Binigay ng God. Ngayon, hanggang ngayon, parang maganda ang, maganda ang pakiramdam ko. Yung high blood ko, pag parang magandang tinanggal ko na yung sa cholesterol ko, hindi na ako, pero yung sa cholesterol ko, pag tinatanggal ko yon, parang hindi, mga 2 araw, parang masama ang pakiramdam ko. Pero ito, 14 days na, ngayon 14 days na, basta 2 weeks na, hindi ako uminom ng subastatin, wala akong nararamdaman na parang maganda ang Kaya yun, ngayon bumili pa ako ulit ng tablet. Oo. Kasi sabi ko para para lumakas talaga sa akin ng Kasi nararamdaman ko talaga na maganda. Ay, Norma Yusuf, ay bukol ako dito sa liig ko, 13 piraso. Umabot na ng 3 cm. Take ako ng PPARS 2 times, morning at saka gabi. Pag numulok ako, hindi ko na siya mararamdaman. At saka, kinakapa ko siya, parang nawawala, parang wala na, hindi ko mahawakan. Hindi katulad ng dati. Salamat, Simply Nature.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Simply Healed webinar. I'm Sheila, your host, and we're glad to have you with us tonight. Today, we're diving into real science-based solutions for better health. To quickly recap last week's webinar, we tackled a powerful topic entitled What Every Cancer Patient Must Know, Life-Saving Keys After Diagnosis. It was truly a delightful session filled with meaningful questions answered by our experts with clarity and care. Now, this week, we shift our attention to our profoundly important topic entitled Cancer Cell Growth Arrest, a must in a cancer journey. When people hear the word cancer, they often think of two things: surgery and chemotherapy, cutting it out or killing it. And yes, removing tumors is important, but there's a third, lesser known but equally powerful strategy. It is called cancer cell growth arrest. And it could be a game changer in your healing journey. So, what does great growth arrest mean? It simply means stopping cancer cells from multiplying. Instead of letting them grow uncontrollably, we freeze them. We press pause on their ability to divide and spread. It's like locking the doors on a dangerous intruder. You don't need to fight them head on if you can stop them from moving. Now, here's the encouraging part. Your body already has a built-in mechanisms to arrest cancer growth. We just need to reactivate them. And that's where PPARS comes in, peroxisome proliferator activated receptors. These are powerful gene switches in your cells that regulate inflammation, metabolism, and most importantly, cell growth and death. Research has shown that when PPARs are activated, abnormal cells slow down or stop dividing. Second, cancer promoting inflammation is reduced, and the inflammation or immune system becomes more alert and active. And this is exactly what Simply Nature PPAR supports. By supporting these gene regulators, Simply Nature PPARs helps restore balance in your body, encourages damaged or cancerous cells to stop multiplying, and creates a less favorable environment for cancer to thrive. Let me leave you with this thought. You don't have to fight cancer with destruction alone, because sometimes the smartest strategy is to disarm it, slow it down, and give your body an upper hand. So if you are walking this journey alone, you know this. It is not just about what treatments you take. It is also about how you support your cells to behave the way they were designed to, with wisdom, order, and healing. Let's talk about more of this and how Simply Nature PPARs can be part of your journey. Now, the intention of this webinar is to always make sure that we answer more questions coming from all of you for us to be able to empower you more in your journeys. So without further ado, let's dive right in. Leading tonight's AMA or Ask Me Anything portion is our highly respected health experts. First up, it's an honor to introduce Dr. Jansen Kalalan, a graduate from St. Luke's College of Medicine, a diplomat of both the International Board of Lifestyle Medicine and Philippine College of Lifestyle Medicine, currently serving as consultant at renowned institutions including Alta Integrative Medicine and Wellness Complex at Perpetual Health Medical Center, Las Piñas, Tree of Life Wellness Center, Centro Holistico, and Simply Healed Medical Group, where he practices integrative oncology. Joining him as an expert is a successful entrepreneur and seasoned international speaker who brings deep insight into personal health and success. He is the CEO and founding director of Simply Nature International and our PPARS expert who is now in Singapore, by the way, Mr. Shyan Lim. Hi, Sir Shyan. Hi, Dr. Jansen. Good evening po.
Hi Sheila, hi Doc Jansen, and hi everyone taking this from Singapore. Hallelujah.
Right.
Hello. Hello. Hi.
Good evening.
So today we're going to try a different format, right? We're going to have a topic and me and Doc Jansen have a little bit of discussion live and then we jump into the AMA. So
That's
Doc,
right.
I'll start with the questions. We always say that we have to kill the cancer cell. We have to, in order to beat cancer. So my first question is, can a patient actually live a full life with a cancer tumor? I mean, is that even possible? Are there types of cancers that actually, as long as the cancer doesn't spread, the patient actually can live a life? And would there be a condition, circumstances where this would be the a valid option, for example, older cancer patients? Yeah.
Actually, that's true, no? And for cancer treatment, that's actually the first goal that we have to establish. Um, Number one, cancer cells are continuously multiplying, growing, and the first goal is to stop them from growing, from multiplying. So that's the first goal. Okay, as long as a doctor achieve that goal, for me, the doctor would have achieved the job already, would have done the job already. Okay. Um, Now it's easier said than done because there are cancers. Cancer cells are very tricky to manage because they continuously mutate. They mutate and mutate and mutate. Sometimes when we give treatment, instead of improving, resolving the tumor, it grows bigger. Sometimes with a vengeance. So this is really very tricky. Now, for elderly individuals, people who are really weak, it is perfectly okay to just stop the cancer on its tracks. This is to prolong the life of a patient. This is to buy time. So this is in palliative care. Okay, so that's basically what we do and what we try to achieve. So it's really very the cancer care should really be discussed well with the patient, and this should be in line with what the patient wants and also with what is realistic. Okay, because sometimes the patient is too weak already. We cannot just bombard the patient with a lot of treatment because the treatment might, you know, make the patient deteriorate instead of help the patient. So this is something that should be done carefully, especially for patients with very high tumor burdens or a lot of tumors in the body, stage 4 metastatic cancer, in other words. Okay.
No, for prostate cancer, there are cancers that actually grow very slowly, right? So if you are diagnosed with, for example, stage 1 prostate cancer, which is something you can catch early if you go for your prostate exam. How long can a patient how long does it take for a stage 1 prostate cancer to become of concern? Because this is actually one of the cancers many men can get. Yeah.
It actually varies. It can range from a few months to decades.
Wow, decades. Did you
Yeah,
actually say decades?
decades.
Okay.
Yeah, you can live with it. Actually, there are actually men. Well, I think most men would, if they don't feel anything, they would just skip, going to the doctor, have their prostate checked. Sometimes we die of whatever reason aside from prostate cancer. But if an autopsy was done on us, they would find prostate cancer, lurking inside. So that's how indolent prostate cancer is. However, there are types of prostate cancers as well, which are very, very aggressive. So it's actually a spectrum. It's a very, very wide range. Okay, but to answer the question, how long does a how long does prostate cancer would take, to be of concern? It really depends on the lifestyle of the patient, really depends on the age. Then yeah, so it can range from months to decades, years.
Yeah, actually, there's a doctor that I know in Philippines, one of the earliest doctors that work with us. He actually has prostate cancer, and he was in his late 70s, mid 70s, and now he's in his late 80s. I've known him for 15 years, and he has had stage 2 prostate cancer for that long amount of time. And for him, he's actually on Simply Nature PPAR soft gel capsules. So doc, are there any strategies that we can use to how shall we say, stop cancer growth or delay cancer growth?
Yeah, there are a lot. Well, first, metabolically speaking, so this is I'm speaking from an integrative medicine point of view, orthomolecular medicine point of view, no. So cancer has 14 hallmarks. Okay. Now cancer growth would depend on these 14 hallmarks if there are yeah, on these 14 hallmarks. So metabolically speaking, we can starve the cancer.
Wow,
This is
stop the cancer.
yeah, starve the cancer. So the fuel of cancer would be your sugar or glucose. So glucose, cholesterol, and glutamine. Glutamine is a type of amino acid. Okay, so if you starve the cancer of these three fuel, the idea is to stop the cancer on its tracks from replicating, or at least to try to slow it down, because not all cancer cells would respond. Okay, so that's the first step: metabolic approach or metabolic attack. Number two is to make sure the body of the patient is healthy or strong. A working immune system is paramount in the battle against cancer, because the only thing in your body that would fight off the cancer is your immune system. Okay, so if you have a strong immune system, then you can kill cancer cells and stop it on its tracks. No, stop it from growing further. No, so that's number two. Number three is we can use medications. So this is cytotoxic attack. However, there are two ways. There are two approaches here. So you have cytotoxic, which means that you kill the cancer cell directly. So this is radiation therapy, chemotherapy, your targeted therapy, intravenous high dose vitamin C, B17, the natural extracts that are known to that have cytotoxic effect against cancer. Okay. There's also another approach wherein you use medications to stop the cancer from further growing. So these are cytostatic.
Okay,
Cytostatic.
different from killing the cancer. It's just to stop it from growing.
Yeah, stop it from growing, stop it from dividing, or at least slow it down. So there are drugs and medications so that we can repurpose for this. So by drug repurposing, we use FDA approved drugs in the market, and these drugs have been studied against cancer, and it was found that they have anti-cancer properties. So this is drug repurposing, or using these medications as off-label use. Okay?
Wow.
Yeah, off-label. Why is it off-label? Because these drugs, are already there in the market for decades, so nobody can patent it. These are generic drugs. Nobody can patent this anymore. Okay, so that's why nobody's studying this or applying this to the FDA for this specific use. Okay, but medical research shows that these drugs have also anti-cancer effect. So that's drug repurposing. Some examples would be mebendazole and ivermectin. So these are anti-parasitic drugs for use for deworming, but they have anti-cancer properties as well. So that's drug repurposing. What else? Supplements as well, natural extracts that can do such things as well, similar to those two drugs. So one example would be artesunate. Artesunate is it's actually an herb used to fight malaria.
Wow.
It's an herb, but artesunate has two mechanisms. It's cytotoxic at the same time cytostatic. Yeah, so that's one. Okay, so there are a lot. So
well, I just want to ask you, the repurposing of pharmaceutical drugs. Have you actually tried or used that on patients? And if you have, what's the results like?
Yeah, there was one patient. This patient was wheelchair bound. She cannot move her feet.
Okay.
Two legs. It's paralyzed. No? Reason why she was paralyzed is because her breast cancer metastasized to her bone. Then the spine, the spinal metastasis was compressing her spinal column. So that's why she has no sensation. She cannot move anything from her, I think from her chest down. Yeah, so that was her situation. So she was wheelchair bound. Now, when I saw this patient, she was asking for help with her chemotherapy because she was about to go for chemotherapy and she's quite scared, no? So she came to me. So I began to prescribe her that approach, no, that I told you. So drug repurposing, metabolic attack against cancer. Then I asked her, okay, go see your onco and do the chemotherapy. So she was doing both at the same time. However, just to make sure that my protocol does not interact with the protocol of the oncologist, I made sure that she was not taking anything that would interact with the chemo that the onco was giving. Okay, so adjusted my protocol around the protocol of the onco. When she finished the chemotherapy, she reported that she was now able to stand with assistance. At least there was some strength.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah. So from wheelchair bound to being able to stand up. So she was able to finish all her cycles, everything.
Wow.
Finished. Yeah. She lost her hair, but she's quite strong, and right now she's able to walk on her own.
Wow, that's really good news. So, I mean, in summary to our viewers tonight, and I see the viewership actually keep climbing. So I think this is an interesting discussion. Dr. Jansen talked about the 14 hallmarks of cancer. That means cancer in general has 14, I would say, gates or attributes. So that means these are 14 possible strategies in which you can actually attack the cancer. So Dr. Jansen highlighted 4 of them, from starving the cancer to attacking its metabolism to cytotoxicity, and so on and so forth. So what I just want to highlight, because Dr. Jansen talked about something very something that is not talked about specifically on our program much, which is the repurposing of pharmaceutical drugs. So just to confirm, Doc, because these pharmaceutical drugs are already FDA approved, so they are safe in a sense, right? It's safe for consumption, as in even if though it has side effects, it's not like lethal side effects or anything that you'd be so worried about. They are approved drugs. And the reason why these drugs are often not being used by oncologists or most medical practitioners is or pushed by pharmaceutical companies to doctors is that these drugs have already lost their patent, right? So that means anybody can produce these drugs, and usually these drugs are very much cheaper than the new drugs. So there is a bit of economics here involved, and that's why also these drugs are not on the forefront. But as Dr. Jansen said, there are very interesting repurposing of drugs, and these can should only be done by doctors, medical doctors, not anyone who call themselves a doctor. Some people are doctor of love, but they want they want to treat cancer patients. Okay, so you can see these are still pharmaceutical drugs. They should be prescribed and used by fully qualified medical doctors. And again, I like what I hear, Doc, that you actually work your protocol around an oncologist's protocol. How I wish the day would come where you can actually interact with an oncologist much more and interface much more regularly, right? But I think we're getting there. I think we are every year we get one step closer to that. But again, I want to highlight to all our viewers, it's very important. You can have an integrative approach to treating cancer, but it's so important to make sure the person that's treating you with integrative medicine actually knows about cancer drugs and cancer treatments. Because if you're going through chemotherapy, you want to make sure you don't have any contraindications. So do go to a qualified medical practitioner. You can ask, one way I would do is I would test it, right? I would ask questions about the chemotherapy drug your oncologist has prescribed you, and quickly look at the doctor's expression to see if they recognize the drugs and they know what they're doing. And if they are not, then I would say be more vigilant and careful about doing that. I know Dr. Jansen is here, but I would say, I think as a patient, we have every right to test our doctors as well, as well, because we put our trust in our life into their hands. So you want to make sure that you have found the right doctor. And again, if you are ever in doubt, and you feel comfortable and confident with what Dr. Jansen has said, you can always make an appointment with Dr. Jansen, and you can start with online consult before proceeding to a face-to-face. The beauty of online consult is that you can do it quickly from anywhere you are. You don't have to travel all the way down to the many clinics and hospitals that Dr. Jansen actually practices in. All right, and after the initial consultation, you can always move forward. Yeah. So Sheila, let's go to our AMA.
I was just about to say
we are AMA.
We are really starting off very encouraging and very interesting. And yes, I can see a lot of questions are coming in from our viewers, and I can also see that we have a lot of likes today and a lot of new viewers, that which I'll be doing a shout out, of course, a little later. But let's start off with our first question for tonight, thrown to us privately. So the question is, I have stage 4 colon cancer and I have an ileostomy bag. How much percentage of nutrients is my body getting from foods and PPARS?
Wow.
Okay. Ileostomy bag. The question is very, very specific. Okay. Let me double check first though with my resources. But given that you have an ileostomy bag, so an ileostomy bag, where is this inserted? This is inserted in the ileum. Okay. So you have your colon, you have your intestine, okay? You have your small and your large intestine. The ileum is at the third end of the small intestine. So the ileum will become the colon, okay? So there are nutrients being absorbed in the ileum, yes, okay? Now, before the food goes into the bag, the nutrients that you would have absorbed, that the ileum should absorb, would have been absorbed already before it goes into the colon. So what happens in the colon? The colon just reabsorbs those, it just reabsorbs water. That's it. It just reabsorbs water. So if you have an ileostomy bag, given that this is just, food will not pool in the ileum, okay? It will not pool in the ileum. You would have still absorbed the right amount of nutrients, the right combination of nutrients. It's just that it would be in smaller amounts. Okay? And of course, since you have an ileostomy, then the everything would be draining towards the bag. So when it comes to water being resorbed from the food that you ate, it would be less, definitely less. So you have to drink more water in this regard. Okay. Now to answer specifically the question, let me just double check. Okay.
I think this is a very good question because this
It
person
is.
might be taking lifestyle changes and eating healthily, and he's wondering how much effect it's going to have. And right, because I'm sure eating healthily takes a lot of effort and discipline, and of course, if he's on the PPARS protocol, that also takes financial commitment. So
Let me see. Let me see.
Actually, this client has a follow-up question, and he's asking about if soy sauce is okay to be taken by him as a colon cancer patient, and if honey is good as replacement from sugar, because before taking PPARS, he is also taking fenbendazole as a medication. So is it okay together with PPARS, or should he stop the fenbendazole?
No, it's okay. It's perfectly okay. Fenbendazole should be taken on a full meal. So if this was prescribed correctly, you would not have taken PPARS together with the fenbendazole at the same time, but it can be given on the same day. Okay, so PPARS should be eaten or taken on an empty stomach. Fenbendazole should be taken with food. Okay, so yeah, it would not have, you would not have taken this together in the first place. But if you're asking if you take PPARS and fenbendazole together, would there be any interactions? There won't be. There won't be. It's just that there's a possibility that you would absorb less of the fenbendazole, okay, because PPARS is a chelator, okay, but you would still absorb it on a lesser degree. Okay, so to do this correctly, better separate it. Okay, so take PPARS on an empty stomach, then fenbendazole with food. Okay, so now let's go back to the first question. Okay, percentage of nutrients that the patient would still be able to absorb. Okay, for those who have an end ileostomy, around 90% of the calories, no, and everything, your fats, your amino acids, your carbohydrates, so 90% of this would still be absorbed.
Oh, that's
Okay, so
good news.
it's not, yeah, it's good news. I mean, it's not 100%. So the 10% is because of the time factor. Because the food would be moving faster, it would be draining to the ileostomy as soon as it gets there. Okay, so that's what happens. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but it's good. It's good news. Basically, 90%, that's still good. It's not like you lost 30-40%. All right. So there. And then you asked about, can he take honey? I know your answer. Honey is not better than any other sugar, right? For a cancer patient.
Doc Jansen,
Yeah.
I remember, has a very particular recommendation. Yes, Doc Jansen.
Yeah, for honey, the answer is no, but there are exceptions, okay? So a lot of cancer patients are actually asking this, what kind of sweetener can I
Yeah.
use? So the answer is fruits. That's the only thing. That's the only sweetener you can use, okay? Why not the other refined sugars? Because refined sugars are very quickly absorbed by the gut. So if this is quickly absorbed by the gut, you would have blood sugar spikes. Together with that would be insulin spikes. Insulin spikes will make things grow because that's how insulin is. Okay? So you have to be careful. The especially sugar, sugary foods, no, you have to take in sugar together with a big meal. So to slow down the absorption of sugar. So it has to be food with fiber. Okay, so sweeteners actually is a no-no. If we strictly speaking, refined sugars are a no-no. Everything, all refined sugars. So that would include honey, your table sugar, your artificial sweeteners, your fruit juices, these things. Yeah. So when we are talking about sugars, the two healthiest sugars would be date sugar and blackstrap molasses. So the reason why they're the healthiest is because they still have some degree of antioxidants left. That's the only thing that makes them healthier compared to the other sugars. But in and of itself, no, blackstrap molasses and date sugar, they're still not good for a cancer patient.
Oh, okay.
Okay, they're still not good for a cancer patient. Okay, so the only sweet thing that you can eat would be fruits. Okay, but
What
you have to
about-
eat the fruit at the end of a meal.
Yes, sir.
What about stevia?
Stevia.
Stevia.
Yeah, stevia is it's from leaves, right?
Yeah.
It's
So
from leaves.
it's not really sugar, right? But it tricks the taste bud, or is it really sugar as well?
The thing with stevia is the final product is a processed form of the stevia plant. So that's a problem. That's still a problem. So the stevia doesn't get absorbed much from the gut. So that's why people would prefer that to be an artificial sweetener. However, it interacts with your gut bacteria such that it produces inflammatory factors. Or it produces substances that makes your blood clot easier. So that's why that's why we in integrative oncology, lifestyle medicine, still advise against using the artificial sweeteners. It's because
wow. So there's actually a reason and a mechanism that you guys, the integrative practitioners are very cautious about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So this is science, okay? Now it doesn't mean that we're talking about these things, what happens, so based on science. It doesn't mean that, as individual patients, we have to strictly follow this because we have to weigh things out. Because if you're someone who, if it would take you the stevia to eat the healthy food, then why not use it?
Yeah. Okay.
Without stevia, you won't be able to swallow it. So I mean,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
a worse that's a
Yeah.
worse situation.
Yeah.
So you have to weigh things out. Okay, so we're just
Practical.
discussing this as in for
Yeah.
the sake of academic reasons, education, science. Yeah,
Yeah.
but on an individual basis, it's case to case. Okay.
So in other words, based on pure hard science, these are big no-nos. But it's just like a child. If your child doesn't want to eat the medicine, his fever is gonna get higher and higher. So you mix the cough syrup with a little bit of lollipop, and just so that he takes it. So again, for cancer patients out there, don't be a big baby and make it an excuse, all right? But if it is very difficult, or for example, you're really feeling very depressed, because you can't eat anything and you're feeling a bit down, then I guess make sure you take all the right foods and a small helping of stevia or date sugar will to brighten your day. It would be something that you can consider. It's not a deal breaker. It's not going to cause your cancer to escalate tomorrow, but it's again, yeah, being practical. Let's be practical about it. All right. But the important thing is to reduce or cut out your meat intake, because protein feeds meat, red meat, and white meat. All meat actually feeds cancer growth. Yeah. Sheila, can we go to the next question?
Yes, but just before the next question, I just want to say, for those of you who wish to have a consult with Dr. Jansen, simply type in how to consult. Well, our caring HTS will definitely get in touch with you individually. All right, so for our next question, coming from Sir Andres, question is, my daughter has lump on her breast and she is scheduled to go for biopsy tomorrow. How should we best prepare her?
Wow, good question.
Yeah, good question. Okay, when you finish the biopsy, what I would do, no, for any patient who is in the same situation, I would start her on celecoxib. Why? Because celecoxib, it's an anti-inflammatory, it's a pain reliever, anti-inflammatory, which can prolong or widen the window period, so that the window period, no, to minimize the risk of metastasis long term. Okay, because once we've done a core needle biopsy, there's a 2-month window to get the entire tumor out, no, or to start treatment before the risk of metastasis increases. Okay, so celecoxib can prolong this window. However, you cannot take celecoxib forever. Okay, you cannot, because celecoxib can harm your kidneys if you take it for a long period of time. Okay, so for that matter, it is a medication just to buy more time. Okay, because here in the Philippines, once you do the biopsy, it takes a while for the back end. What I mean by back end are the laboratory processes, hospital processes, the medical system, doing its work before a doctor can make a decision on the treatment. Okay, so the celecoxib is to buy more time temporarily on the short term. Now, once a definitive treatment is already recommended, then that's the time that you stop taking the celecoxib. Okay. Then go for the treatment. All right. So that's what I would do for a patient on the same situation.
So, Doc,
Yeah.
if this particular patient, for example, is shy to ask his doctor, and his doctor doesn't prescribe this, then can he go for a consult with you, and will you be able to prescribe? Okay, good. So I
Yes,
just asking this
definitely.
for the particular viewer. Doc, what about other practical, non-medical advice, like should they drink more water, make sure they are rested? I think these are the very simple advice that I think every patient says we want to know. Okay, should they avoid eating foods? What foods immediately after doing a biopsy? To make is there anything special that they can do to be in a better position? Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, if you think about it, I think the only if you're going to be avoiding, some foods or anything practical, just don't eat something that might delay the procedure being done.
Okay.
So, number one, if you have allergies, I mean, don't eat that. Don't eat the allergen. Uh,
Yeah.
I mean, don't go out partying. If you, yeah, drinking alcohol. If you're someone who's taking other medication supplements, no, make sure that you uh, show this to your doctor because the doctor, the one performing the biopsy, might give you medications that might be, contraindicated with the medications that you're taking. If you're taking blood thinners, make sure that you stop taking the blood thinners. I mean, at least 3 days before undergoing the doing the procedure. Yeah, so these things, these things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would also advise a particular viewer, eat simply. All right. So don't go and eat mang inasal or some inasal. Don't go and take extra spicy food or anything. Eat lugao, green vegetables, for 1 or 2 days. I think eat simply so that you will not cause inflammation in your body. You will not cause any discomfort or anything as well during this time. Yeah. All right, Sheila.
Thank you. Just before we go to our next question, because we have a lot of new viewers tonight, I just want to greet them: Cecilia Fernandez, Rosalina Lacson, J.R. De Guzman, Isabel Cortez, Antonio Tan, Leo Ocampo, he's a regular. Hello again. Okay. Hello, Miss Jeanette Ku, and our another regular, Miss Edna Abello. For the others, I'll be greeting you a little later. We have a lot. Thank you so much for watching our webinar tonight. Now, for our next question, coming from Ms. Raquel, I felt a small lump on my left breast. I'm worried if one of the causative factor is because I was breastfeeding our youngest long time ago.
Breastfeeding and breast cancer, I think breastfeeding is actually protective against breast cancer, no? So, the breast lump is not a consequence of you breastfeeding. Yeah. It's not. So it is a separate issue that has to be investigated. Okay? Yeah.
Please go and see your doctor about the lump. All right. And if you're in Metro Manila area, if you want to see Dr. Jansen, make a consult. I just also want to just inject this. In traditional Chinese medicine, whenever a woman is pregnant and it actually gives birth, there is a lot of detoxing being done. And there's also a need for replenishment of the body's strength as well. That's why it's very interesting. The Chinese, when after they give birth, the whole procedure is so different from conventional Western medicine. For the ladies, after they give birth in Chinese traditions, for 1 month, number one, for 1 month, they don't bathe. All right. It doesn't mean that they become dirty. All right. It just means that they wipe themselves down, powder bath and things like that. All right. But they don't soak themselves under water, running water, because number one, when a lady gives birth, lots of energy is being expelled, blood is being lost. So in this point, from a TCM perspective, they don't want cold and dampness to enter the body. So usually for 1 month, the lady doesn't bathe, and also they eat a very special diet. They eat diets that are high in nutrients because a lot of blood was lost, and there's actually a special lady that will cook special meals, right? Special recipes like red vinegar chicken and things like that. These are supposed to be very nourishing, especially for the blood. So it's very interesting and very important it's a very important and useful concept in your fight against cancer, how to nourish yourself during the fight, especially after operations, getting ready for operations, before and after chemotherapy sessions. It's an important concept. All right. Yeah. Sheila?
Thank you. Thank you, Sir Sean. Thank you, Dr. Jansen. Right, for our next question, coming from Ms. Christine Banog, how to take PPARS Plus tablet? Is it okay with empty stomach?
It's best with empty
Yes.
stomach. All right, it's best with empty
Exactly.
stomach. And it's alkaline. It's alkaline in nature, so yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah, eating it's best taken in empty stomach. Yeah.
I just also want to say it's chewable, so you can
Yeah,
try
it's
off
chewable.
with
If
the
you
three
chew
tablets.
PPAR tablets, I don't understand the mechanism of action for this one, but it seems like the teeth do become whiter. Whiter. All right.
Oh.
Don't ask me why. It's just an observation. Yeah.
Okay, we have a very interesting question, quite general. Question is coming from Mr. Fernando. What is the success rate of your PPARS protocol?
That's a very open-ended question.
Yeah.
Okay. I will start with a few, and then Dr. Jansen can share his experience. Okay, number one. I think the success rate of PPAR protocols helping someone is in the, okay, I would say from my personal experience is in the 90 percentiles. Okay. What do I mean by that? Number one, the patient will feel better, feel stronger. Now, does it mean that their cancer is managed? That would depend on patient to patient. But you've got to remember, your question is very open-ended, right? So PPAR protocol does quite a lot of things. Number one, it will improve the comorbidities that the cancer patient may have. So the cancer patient may have diabetes, high blood cholesterol, chronic inflammation. All these are contributing factors that make the cancer grow even more aggressively. So when you bring that under control, then you are helping the patient. So the success rate for PPARs, especially if you're a cancer patient, you're definitely taking PPAR liquid or PPAR extract powder. Now, the success rate for extract liquid powder and extract liquid on the metabolic syndromes is like 90 percentiles, right? It's going to improve your metabolic syndromes. So with that, that's definitely going to help you in your fight against cancer. Now, specifically, I think your question would be, what is the success rate of being able to reverse the cancer or actually treat the cancer? Okay, that answer is more difficult to answer, okay, because most cancer patients use multiple protocols as well. So if a patient only use Simply Nature PPARS protocol versus one that use integrative approach PPARS protocol, goes for chemotherapy, does surgery, so on and so forth. So the success rate really differs. I can just say with great confidence that for all the cancer patients that we have worked with, it has helped and improved. Now, is it the one solution that will reverse the cancer? That is something less, how shall we say, less sure, right? But we do also have patients who come to us as a last resort. That means they've tried everything already, and they are in their late stage. And did they survive and do well? Did they recover? Yes. Are there patients who are also in the late stage come to us after trying everything else, and then they try our Simply Nature PPAR liquid extract? Did their cancer reverse? The answer is no. But even in these cases, they got stronger. So even in those cases, and Sheila and Jhen can attest to that because they are their clients, their family member actually calls us up when the patient returns to the Lord. Why? Because they were able to see that last 2 weeks, that last 1 month, the patient actually got stronger. They were able to speak to them. They were able to move around. They were feeling better, more comfortable, even if they lost the fight to cancer. And I would just end with this one. And this is actually one of the directors of Simply Nature Singapore. All right. Her father-in-law was given 2 months lung cancer, okay, metastasized, 4th stage. He ended up living another 1 year. And in that 1 year, he got stronger and stronger as time went by, which is really strange, right? Doctor gave you 2 months, and if he didn't survive, how come he still got stronger? So the answer is he got stronger even though his cancer grew worse, right? But he did improve from his initial stage of when the doctor said he only had 2 months. He got so strong that they were able to go on tour, right? So my friend and my director in Simply Nature Singapore actually had a wonderful opportunity to develop her relationship with her father-in-law in the extra 1 year that he lived. She saw him every week because she became one of his primary caretakers. So, and she saw him stronger and stronger. And her last statement to me that made the whole journey worthwhile was that she said that at his wake, the way he looked was better than a year ago when the doctor said you only have 2 months left. At that point, he already looked like he was not going to survive. But at his wake, the way his body looked, it looked I know it sounds so strange. It looked healthy, it looked good, it really looked presentable, and the family was very happy. So that's my answer. Doc, what's the success rate of PPARS for cancer? How do you answer that?
Depends on what you want to measure.
Yeah.
Depends on what you want to measure. Yeah. So it cannot the question is really very general. So there's no specific answer to that question. Yeah. So yeah, depends on what you want to measure. And I think Sir Shan here already talked about different situations where Simply Nature PPARs have good success, and situation wherein, you know, it has wherein we see limitations. Okay, so yeah, that's how it is. I mean, this is not a magic product that when you take, everything's gonna be okay. It has its limitations. It has its uses. It has to be used correctly to get the benefit. Okay, if you use wrongly, then yeah, you won't get anything. I mean, you won't notice anything from it. Okay, so that's how it is.
Right,
I would-
just go ahead,
Yeah.
sir.
So I just wanted to end one thing is that we are being so cautious because we want to be responsible. The reason why Dr. Jansen and I won't say that Simply Nature PPARS is going to do very well for your cancer is this, right? Here's the main underlying reason. We don't want you to just bank on the Simply Nature PPAR protocols, right? Just because we say, okay, it's gonna help your cancer, you're gonna do well on it, and then you close the door to chemotherapy, you close the door to surgery, you close the door to other options. That is why we don't want to say this. Okay. The truth is, yes, many patients, even the late stage cancer, has actually survived and done well and beaten cancer on the protocol. But our underlying thing is we want you to explore all protocol options. And we want you to realize for these cases where these patients totally recovered, even though they were fourth stage and it seemed like no hope, and they took for example, the PPAR liquid extract and things turned around. That happens for individual cases. And we want every listener, every viewer to explore all the possible options available to them and choose the best combination, and not just go from one testimony and say, yeah, this is for me, and then nothing else. I think that would be very irresponsible of us. Okay, but yeah, we are confident, obviously, of our protocol, but we really want you to have the right mindset as you approach your fight against cancer. Yeah, Sheila?
Yes, thank you, sir. I just want to say, just as you said it, we're quite confident with the fact that definitely within a month you'll feel better. But we do not want to stop with that one. This is the very reason why we want our patients to be always coordinated with your doctors, because we want to see solid evidence or solid comparison of the improvement. We want to see numbers getting smaller because your tumors are getting smaller as well.
Yeah.
So there. Okay,
That's
thank you.
why patients that are on Simply Nature PPAR protocols still go for diagnosis, still get monitored and still check on how they are doing and things like that, right? It's not take a supplement and forget about your it's not that.
Exactly. Thank you, Sir Sean. Thank you, Dr. Jansen. Next question coming from Ms Joy. Okay, so is it normal when taking cleansing plus to have a diarrhea? Because I do 2 to 4 times a day, but if not taking it, there's no poop the whole day also. So, and by the way, the stool is also black in color. Is that normal?
That's good news. All right. Number one, if it's black in color, it's good news, right? It's better out than in. That means actually your chlorophyll, when chlorophyll reacts with toxin, it actually becomes black, right? So unused chlorophyll actually comes out green in your poop. So if your poop is green, sometimes it's an indication that, okay, not much toxins is reacted. So black poop is actually, it means that the cleansing plus has the chlorophyll in there and has actually reacted with the toxins and is being pulled out. Having diarrhea for the first few times or days that you take cleansing plus is okay. It's quite normal. It happened to me. Right? It happened to me. That's why for me, even now, I love cleansing plus, but I only take it on days that tomorrow I have nothing and I don't have to go out of the house. So my usual time of taking cleansing plus is Friday night. All right. Because Saturday I sort of stay at home, right? So Saturday morning, sorry, I sort of stay at home, and Saturday is a more relaxed day. I don't have to be in office or any important meetings. So even for me, after so many years, I tend to still choose a day with less activity. So yes, it is normal. Doc, very interesting. I have a particular friend. She had lazy bowel movement, lazy bowel syndrome. So she can poop only like once a week. I really don't know where the food goes. And when she takes cleansing plus, she will poop. What was interesting is that she took cleansing plus for like about 3-4 months. After that, her bowels regularized. Was it possible that because while she was on cleansing plus, she was pooping? So what is that how her bowels got trained to move again? Is that what happened, and what happened?
It can.
Yeah.
It is an explanation. Well, the bowel. Well, the bowel is a muscle. It is a smooth muscle.
Okay.
So with smooth muscles, these muscles contract involuntarily.
Yeah.
They contract and relax.
You can't control
Okay?
it. Yeah.
Yeah. So the bowel, so we have something called peristalsis. So peristalsis is when this is the natural movement of the colon. So imagine a snake, how a snake moves. The snake moves by contracting its entire body. So the colon also is very similar to this. So segments of the colon contract and relax at the same time to move its contents down the road. Okay. So with constipation and lazy bowel syndrome, sometimes the amount of food in specific segments of the colon is not enough, so that it's not enough for the colon to push it down further. Okay, so when you take something like cleansing plus, by the way, is psyllium husk
Yeah. So you were
combined with combined with antioxidants. So anyway, psyllium husk is that's the main ingredient. So psyllium husk is a stool bulker. Yeah, especially when it absorbs water, it bulks up. So when it bulks up, then suddenly your colon will feel something, and it will push it down the road. So that's why sometimes for constipated patients, especially for patients who are not eating that much, then when you take in cleansing plus, suddenly you have bowel movement. Okay, so that's how cleansing plus works. Okay, so other people, they have a faster bowel movement. So when they take cleansing plus, sometimes it comes out as diarrhea. Yeah. However, please also take note: psyllium husk will not cause diarrhea, because sometimes if you have diarrhea, if you take psyllium husk, that would absorb excess water. It is a stool former. Okay, so it's a stool former, so it can also help people with diarrhea in the first place. Okay, to soak up water. All right, so that's how psyllium husk is. Really interesting substance. I wonder how they discovered this.
Yeah. So again, for all those who take cleansing plus, there's this chart called a Bristol chart, right? It tells you the shape of poo, and there's actually a science in looking at poop. So I know in Filipinos don't look at their poop. Okay, they don't. The Chinese Doc, do you know that Chinese emperor have poop eaters?
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. There is a professional job in the medical industry in the Imperial Palace. His job is to eat poop. They will eat poop, and by tasting the poop, they will diagnose the health of the emperor's GI, and they will adjust the next day's food to correct any imbalances. So, okay, so guys, there is actually another chart where I'll try and look for it the next time and I'll show it, where there's actually a color chart as well. And I found this to be rather accurate, right? For example, if a client tells me they take Cleansing Plus and their poop is bright orange in color, my first question to them is like, you take a lot of medication, right? And they'll be like, yeah, how do you know? Okay, because actually there's a color chart that tells you if, of course, it can vary from person to person, but this is like a very general, in general, this is true, right? So if you're bright orange, orangey brown color, more on the yellowish orange, then you are probably you're on medication. And the result of taking drugs leaves these, I guess, chemicals, toxins, or pharmaceutical agents in your system. And when you're able to pull it out, when you're able to detox, the color that comes out is that. So there's a color chart that talks about what if it's really black in color. Now, the only one color that is very worrisome is red, right? Because that means there's blood in your stool. Then that is something that you should be concerned about. But the other, like dark brown and all that, yeah, all that is actually indicative of your GI health or your general health. So look at the color of your poop. Go and search the internet. I'll try it on the next program. But Doc, I want to ask this question. This is an important question, Doc. What is the state of a healthy poop? Should it sink? Should it float?
Good
Because
question.
I was looking through the charts. It says that poop that sinks is not good. That means, thank God you pooped it out. All right, your body is not in balance. Apparently, from the chart, it says that ideal poop that shows that your GI is healthy is poop that it's not floating on the surface, but it's not sinking. So it's like, just under the surface. It's buoyant, but it's not like a rock. If your poop, right, just sinks to the bottom, there's no Western medicine term for this, but there is a Chinese term. You are really heaty. All right. And then that's why your poop sinks. Okay, so I don't know. Doc, from Western medicine, is there ideal poop that indicates that everything in your GI and your general health is good?
Yeah. It should be formed.
Okay.
It can be soft, formed, but not watery.
Like
There
soft
should not
serve,
be
is it? It's like you go 7-Eleven, that soft serve consistency?
That okay?
a little bit more formed than
A
that.
little bit more from
We don't want that kind of softness.
okay.
Yeah, it should be formed. That's the most important. It should be formed. There should not be blood. There should not be mucus.
Oh,
The
no
color
mucus.
really depends on what you just ate.
Right.
But if you did not eat anything black or anything red in color, then your poop should not be black or red in color. Okay, because these are warning signs. So this means that you might be, bleeding from the inside. Okay. Yeah, that's the basic ones. And of course, there should not be anything moving in your poop when you poo it out.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
On our side, smell is also another critical factor. If your poop is really smelly, it's good thing that it's out. Okay. So if your poop is smelly, dark, and sinks to the bottom, thank God you took cleanse and it's out. All right. And you would correspondingly, you should feel lighter, more comfortable after pooping. All right. So yeah, it's an interesting segue. We went very deep into poop.
Poop, yeah, very interesting poop talk.
I will find a chart. So Sheila, please remind me next Tuesday, so that we get it ready for Thursday. I'll just show the poop chart and some interesting facts about poop. No, guys, it's really important. It's really, really important. Why? I'm not an emperor, so I don't have a personal poop eater. All right. But I always look at my poop to let me know whether I need to adjust my diet. You guys, you can, Doc Jansen is going to be very happy I say this. If you eat a lot of meat, your poop changes. All right. If you eat a lot of meat, your poop changes, both in color, consistency. If your body is acidic, right? With high inflammation in your body, your poop color and consistency also changes. So these are like the telltale signs. It's not the like Dr. Johnson says, a general practitioner, a family medicine doctor can actually diagnose cancer. It's not one thing, it's a combination of symptoms that will give them a pretty good picture of what's happening. So actually there's a science in looking at your poop from the smell, consistency, and color. We'll look a bit more into that next week. Okay,
Yes.
let's move on to a new topic.
So there will be definitely a part 2 of this poop talk next week. But yeah, I just want to say this is also a call out to all the mothers out there to look at your kids' poops also, to know their
Hey,
condition.
Doc, there is a Kalalan that just gave very good wisdom. She said that if you eat many fiber foods, your poop floats. If you eat many protein foods, the poop sinks. And this is again a good indication why a person who's healthy, his poop doesn't sink to the bottom because he's taking enough vegetables. It doesn't float right on the surface because then that means there are other issues. So it's sort of like suspense beneath the surface of the water. It means you're taking enough fiber as well. See, so there is some common sense to it. Thank you, Mrs. Kalala.
Thank you so much po.
Thank you for helping us out. Okay, thank you.
Right, shall we proceed to the
Yeah,
next? All right, so for our next question, before I proceed with that, someone greeted Doc Jansen in our YouTube because we are also simultaneous there. Miss Melinda Hispano, good evening po, Doc. Patient po of Doc Jansen Kalala. Hello po. And then also from our YouTube question coming from Miss Lima, could I take PPARS liquid even if I don't have diagnosis yet, but
Yes.
have a lump on my left breast and armpit?
Yeah, you can. I can take PPAR liquids, right? I do take PPAR liquids when I am feeling when I'm feeling not so well and I don't know what's wrong with me because the diagnostics don't show anything, but I can feel the weakness, right? Like for example, can't sleep properly and things like that. So I just want to bring this up as a safety issue, right? So there is no downside to taking Simply Nature PPAR liquid except that it's a bit mahal. Okay, it's a bit expensive. I actually have one particular client who takes Simply Nature PPAR liquid as Cobra. So that means she takes it for energy because when she takes Simply Nature PPAR liquid, she not only feels very alert, she feels energized. Sorry, she not only feels energized, she feels very alert. Her mind becomes clear, and she takes it during election period because she supports her family. They are political family in the Philippines, right? So they take it as a supplement for productivity enhancement. So that's the extreme case of how you can use Simply Nature PPAR liquids. So for your case, before any diagnosis and you just want to start taking action immediately, yeah, you can. There's no harm, all right? There's no harm.
Dr. Jansen, would you like to add anything?
Yeah, Simply Nature PPARS, it's a supplement, no? As long as you take it within the recommended range, okay? Don't take in excess. You should not be feeling any problem coming from this. Okay, so for your case, this is an issue of benefit versus harm. So as long as it doesn't harm you, then it's okay.
Yep.
Yeah, at this level, okay. Yeah.
Thank you. I just also want to add because we also have some clients, they are well off, they don't have any health issue. So when they take the PPARS liquid extract, the effect is actually first of all,
wait. So you actually have clients who have no sickness, but they buy the Simply Nature PPAR liquid extract.
Yes, the effect is basically for anti-aging, and I believe it's also for longevity.
Okay, all right. No, that is true. That is true. We have not many such clients, but there are clients who do that. Yeah.
That's true. Okay, so for our next question, coming from Ms Cheryl, Good evening po. I'm diagnosed with stage 1 colon cancer. My onco recommended me 6 months oral chemotherapy. Then I went to another onco for second opinion and then said there is no need for oral chemo. May I know your opinion on this, doc? Contradicting.
Go ask a onco.
Third.
Yeah, go ask a third onco. Well, I have to answer this properly. I need to speak with you. I have to find out your history, what procedures have been done, and if you, yeah, a reason why the first onco was recommending chemotherapy, the second was not recommending. I have to know what their reasons are. Okay, so I can make an appropriate recommendation because if no, I am just assuming if the first onco recommended chemo for prophylaxis or preventive chemotherapy, in other words, preventive chemotherapy, and the second onco was not recommending chemotherapy simply because you were diagnosed with early stage cancer and you underwent the right surgery for it. Okay? So if that's the case, then my position would be to check for any active cancers in your body. So it would be surveillance. First is to do a PET-CT scan. There should not, we have to establish first that there are no metastases in your body. So a PET-CT scan would not be able to detect all cancers or all tumors 100% because it cannot detect tumors less than 2 millimeters. So for that matter, I would have to do a liquid biopsy. I would have to recommend a liquid biopsy. So a liquid biopsy, the sample is your blood, and the laboratory who will do this would analyze your blood and count or isolate the circulating tumor cells, if there are. So if there are established circulating tumor cells, then that's the time the chemotherapy would be justified. If it is zero, then we have to make sure that it really is zero, because if your blood sample came out with no circulating tumor cells, then it just might be a sampling issue. Then we have to do 2 more tests to establish that you really are free of cancer.
But doc, that 2 more tests is done a few months intervals, right? It's not immediate.
Yes. Yeah, it's
So
not
that means
immediately.
you're actually, the good news is as a patient, you're actually becoming more and more confident. That means 3 months later, you do another test, oh, it's still clear. So you are more confident that you are really clear. Yeah. Doc.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's how I would do it. All right.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Doc, I just want to ask, for number one, the medical practice is actually based on the, how shall we say, the sensitivity and the sharpness of doctor. It also is affected by their philosophy towards treating a particular disease, right? Some doctors would rather be aggressive, because maybe in their experience, aggressive approach saved more of his patient's life. Then there could be another doctor who saw an aggressive approach and saw perhaps maybe quality of life affected, and would rather choose to go on the other end of the spectrum. So correct me if I'm wrong, there's actually a certain leeway for doctors of different approaches. Some can be more aggressive and some more conservative, but both are still fall within that correct spectrum, that no other doctor will actually say that, hey, you are wrong. They say more like, hey, my approach is different from yours. I won't say you're wrong. I just say my approach is different from yours, because we are both within that spectrum that is still correct. It just depends on whether you want to be more aggressive and don't care about comfort, don't care about quality of life, just go for the treatment as aggressively as you can. Then there are others who say, quality of life is an important part of treatment. So this is, I think, sometimes why doctors can end up with different opinions. But you know, Dr. Jansen is not wrong. If you ask the doctor who suggested chemo why, and then you ask the other one why not, sometimes you can come up with an absolutely clear answer. One will be more right than the other. And you might have do a few more tests to decide which one is more correct. But that requires a level of communication that normally doesn't happen now. But if you're concerned, yeah, have a consult with Dr. Johnson and you will get your third opinion.
Exactly. Yeah. For those of you who wish to have a consult with Dr. Jansen, simply type in how to consult. Our caring HCS will definitely get in touch with you individually. I just want to say this is a very good way to ask question because sometimes the patient is asking or going for a second opinion is because they really wanted to hear something that they wanted to hear. So for some people, if they hear that they don't need to do oral chemotherapy, they stop right there. But for this client, for this patient, she became a little bit more worried because there is a contradiction between the two opinions.
Yeah,
So
correct. And cancer is not
interesting.
something that you want to play around with.
Yes.
Because it's good news that your cancer is in first stage. Good news in the sense that your survival rate is like in the 90 percentiles, most likely, right? You don't want it to go to stage 2 and definitely don't want it to go stage 3. So you wouldn't want to brush away a recommendation. Doc, one of your patients, Miss Suzanne, says she's looking forward to the onco trace. Yeah.
Yes, yes. I am also. I just checked the portal in our GCC just now. Uh, there's no result yet.
Okay. Doc is also anxious, also wanting to know your result.
Yeah, I'm checking this almost every single day, you know.
I like that she's doing a follow-up over our webinar. Thank
Yeah.
you.
So I think,
Good.
this is what I really hope the relationship between a healthcare provider, be it a doctor or a company like Simply Nature, and our clients, that we can have a clear communication so that we understand where we are heading, and we understand that we are on both sides trying to reach that same goal, which is to get the healing, right? And that process is often not so straightforward. There might be adjustments needed to be done. There might be things that we thought was the best option until some new data or facts that we did not know comes to surface, and we make adjustments, and we continue to do that until we get the healing that we want, right? Yeah. Sheila?
Hello. Okay. Right. So for our next question, coming from Mr. Chris, I am diagnosed with endometrial cancer and suggested for hysterectomy. Can I just use PPARS and not undergo the surgery?
Oh, this is a good question for the
Okay. For this, it's always important for you to undergo the surgery. If the cancer is not in your body, then the treatment, all succeeding treatments would become simpler because the tumor burden is reduced immediately.
So that means
So,
your Simply Nature people protocol will work better after your surgery, right? So
yes.
go.
Yeah. Okay. So this we still have to follow the appropriate the right treatment path. Okay, the right treatment path. So if you're still qualified for surgery, do the surgery. So why is it so? Because this will reduce the amount of tumor present in your body immediately. So when you reduce the amount of tumor immediately, then the burden on the treatment would be less. The burden on your body would also be less. Yeah. Okay. Survival will be longer as well. Okay. Important. Okay.
So Doc, I mean, as a doctor, again, just wanted your frank opinion because we have many viewers tonight. As a doctor, how would you view surgery today versus, let's say, when you were growing up, when you were studying? Would you trust surgery more? Is it something that you would say there are less errors, or things got worse because doctors are not well trained? No, I'm just joking.
You know, surgery. I'm just going to talk about surgery. Okay.
Okay.
Surgery has evolved to such a degree that the risks are very, very minimal already. I won't say that it is almost zero, but through time, through human experience, and through the advancement of medicine, we have
Especially medical
learned.
tools, especially medical
Yeah,
tools in surgery, right?
yes, a lot of medical tools have been discovered, and a lot of medical techniques, surgical techniques have been refined. So those which does not work have been eliminated in practice. Those who do work have been further improved, actually. Okay, so we're in a time wherein surgery is definitely something not to be afraid of.
Okay.
But if you would be afraid of the surgery, that is perfectly understandable. I mean, nobody would want for
Yeah.
somebody to take something out of our body or open up our
Right.
body. Okay, it's a very frightening situation to be in. All right, so it's perfectly understandable. But let me just assure you that when I was training, I have seen a lot of doctors, a lot of surgeons, assisted in a lot of surgeries, and I really can say that the medical system, when it comes to performing surgery, have been refined in such a way that to minimize risk. Okay, but I won't say that it is totally without risk. Okay, there are still risks involved. However, yeah, through these administrative influence, okay, or modifications in the procedure, risks have been minimized. If you're afraid of blood loss is very, very, it's minimal already for a major surgery. 10 ml of blood is actually quite average. I mean, 10 ml is like
Yeah.
this big of a vial. I mean, it's one PPARS liquid vial. That's 10 ml. That's a blood loss from a major surgery.
Ah, that's
Okay, so
all.
imagine
That's all you lose.
that's all you lose. Yes, I
Wow.
have seen surgeons do that kind of surgery.
Wow.
Okay,
You
so
cut a
I
person
mean,
up for major surgery and you only lose one small vial of blood. Wow.
yes,
Okay.
imagine.
I have to say this, I think for many patients, uh, and I really have to say this because I benefit from this. If I go for surgery or any of my loved ones go for surgery, I'm very confident of the surgery because my cousin is a top surgeon in Singapore. So of course, my cousin is a thoracic surgeon, so he's a heart surgeon, and he can't operate on other parts, right? But because he's a top surgeon, the doctors that if my mom goes for surgery, he will recommend his friend. And because I trust my cousin and I know how good my cousin is, I also trust the surgeon he recommends. So I think the fear that we have always is, what if we are unlucky and we end up with a lousy surgeon, right? So I think that is maybe one of the root reasons for patients who don't know any doctors. So they don't know if this surgeon that they have is a good one or a not so good one, because I've also heard of not so good ones happen. I know it's not, doctors never talk bad about each other, but when my mom had to go for a brain surgeon, so she was talking to different surgeons. The other surgeon said, "Oh, that surgeon, okay," and then he just do this. So already we know we know something's something's up, but they won't say anything bad, right? They just like that. For this particular viewer, I said if you happen to be in the Metro Manila area, uh, and you don't know any good surgeons, I would like to recommend Dr. Jimmy Katapia. He's a good surgeon. He's a really good surgeon. In fact, he's also head of the cancer center in Manila Med, right? So he's a surgeon that's very experienced. And I talked to him. I said, "What's your longest surgery you've done?" Say 12 hours, 15 hours. And then I said, "You don't get tired?" He says, "No. The moment he does the surgery," and then I said, "You still enjoy doing surgery?" He said, "Yes. when he talks about it, his face lights up. I am happy to talk to a doctor whose face lights up when he talks about uh, his practice, right? He still gets excited. He smiles. He said, "Yeah, I enjoy." He said, "Every time I go in the operating theater, I forget the time, and the next thing I see, it's been 4 hours." So I said, "You don't lose focus. You don't get tired." He said, "No, I get more and more focused as the surgery goes on." So yeah. So if you need a good recommendation to a surgeon that we trust, then I'd like to recommend Dr. Jimmy Kadapia. Right? And I hope that takes away some fear of surgery. So yeah, I think to everyone that's viewing right now, there are a few friends you really always need in your life. A friend who's a lawyer, a friend who's an accountant, and you got to know a friend who's a doctor. Thank God I know Doc Jansen, Doc Jimmy, and my own cousin here in Singapore, right? Because whenever I need to see a serious specialist, I don't just look at the yellow pages or the hospital record. I ask my friends like Doc Jansen, Doc Jimmy, and my cousin, and they give me the inside scoop on who are the best doctors. So yeah, there you go. Okay, Sheila.
Thank you. I just also want to add to that Simply Nature is very blessed to have Doc Jansen and Doc Jamie and all our other people partner doctors who are very practical. I can attest that if they see that a procedure is unnecessary, they would tell you so. So and if they see that if you really need to go, then they would encourage you humbly and respectfully as well. So there. Well, actually, that is actually our last question for
Oh,
today.
yeah.
Looks like we've covered all the questions. Thank you, Lord. Now, we're almost at the end of the webinar. As we wrap up, I'd like to ask for a very quick final words or thoughts for our viewers tonight. Would like to start off, Jansen?
Yeah, so I just want to thank all of you for asking all these questions. These are really very interesting questions, so keep on asking them. And we're learning quite a lot from you, and we thank you for you know letting other people learn from this opportunity. Learn from this session as well. Okay, so yeah, that would be all for me. I'm actually quite tired today. I've been all around Metro Manila driving. Yeah, so thank you everyone. And I'll hand the floor to Sir Shen.
First off, I want to thank Doc Jansen, and I'm in Singapore right now. I'm missing Doc Jansen, missing Sheila and the team. I've also been a long day because moving around lots of things that I need to get done as we set up here. So again, thank you very much for everyone for staying until so late with us. Wow, the viewership kept increasing even though we've come towards the end of the program. And I think today's discussion is pretty interesting. All right, so if there's ever anything that you guys want us to talk about specifically, please type it in. Sheila and her team will look at your comments and suggest to us. So the new format that we'll try from this week onwards is that me and Doc Jansen will have an impromptu, all right, conversation about a medical topic. So this is going to come across a bit different because why? If we present a presentation, right, then we are not going to talk about it in a way that is live, just like when you talk about news or politics, if you prepare a report, it's very different from when you're having a conversation. Because when you're having a conversation, what happened an hour ago, it will come out. You will talk about it. But if you prepared a presentation, it's all the facts, everything are locked in. So it's gonna be a very different feel and result, right? If we discuss about something and I read something or saw something on YouTube just yesterday or a few hours ago, I'm gonna pop it up and ask Doc Jansen. And Doc Jansen himself may have just read a medical journal just before our program, or he might have actually just interacted with a particular patient and it's related to our topic. He will suddenly be able to talk about it because it's not a prepared discussion. So we are going to try this format. So if there's any specific topics you like, please let us know. Then you will see us banter live with live data, live experience. And I hopefully that will make our first part of our program more interesting. And of course, we'll always have the AMA. So thank you very much, and signing off today from Singapore. All right, I'll hand the time back to Sheila.
Thank you, Sir Shyan. Thank you, Dr. Jansen. We look forward to seeing more and more Singaporean viewers in the next weeks to come. All right. So once again, thank you for your questions. Thank you for considering our program as a program of value. While you journey with your own health battles, on behalf of our patients, thank you so much once again, Sir Shyan Lim and Dr. Jansen Kalalan, for putting so much effort and care towards all our questions tonight. Now, if you or your loved one is battling any type of cancer or any health issue at all, remember, science is evolving. Keep informed and explore all available options. So don't forget to like and follow our Facebook page, Simply Nature International and Simply Healed Medical Group, and Dr. Jansen Kalalan's Facebook page. And of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel. This is also to make sure that you get updated with our latest promos and events. Now, because you asked for it, we are back with another free shipping day tomorrow, 8/8 or August 8th. That is happening only via www.simplynature.ph, our website. So with a minimum order of 3,850, you can actually avail the free shipping. Okay, once again, this is exclusive deal that will run only tomorrow, August 8, 2025. Now more than ever, of course, it's very important to strengthen your family's immune system with Simply Nature PPARS. So please check out our participating items on Lazada and enjoy the Lazada 8/8 Great Sulit Sale starting tonight at 8 p.m. up until August 10. So avail our products at the unbeatable price. Okay, so thank you so much once again for spending your time with us, and we hope to see you on our next webinars to come, happening on August 14th. That is once again, same day, same time, every Thursday night at 7:30, because your commitment to healing and recovery inspires us. Remember, every step you take is a step forward, and you don't have to take this journey alone. So please continue to stay safe, healthy, and strong. This is once again Simply Healed webinar powered by Simply Nature International and Simply Healed Medical Group, because your curiosity about your health condition and your victories over cancer and metabolic illnesses are what keeps us going. It's here in Simply Nature. We're always with you from start to healing. Thank you, everybody. Good night, and God bless you all.